largest economy in Africa, if it were to be a country. So you understand that the governor of Lagos State is a different level of CEO compared to other states of the federation. With all due respect to them, yes, and I agree with you that they've experimented more than any other state in terms of testing the waters. Don't forget that they were the first under then Bola Ahmed Tinubu to experiment with the idea of creating
local government,
even though they did not pull through completely with it, but still they ended up with LCDs, and today we have almost all the states, especially in the south, having their own LCDs. You have your state, you have Osun State. At least I'm very sure of those two states. They also attempted at a point to build a power plant. I remember this also led to a court case. It was also during the time of Tinubu that power isn't exclusively, so you cannot generate, transmit and distribute power as a state, and that puts a kind of problem on it. Even in the area of security, before the whole noise about Amotekun came, later, they started with this neighborhood watch, which was like a state-sponsored security outfit set up to, support and assist the police and other established security agencies. So, I think it shows the status of Lagos as, a cosmopolitan state. A state that is very enlightened, but more importantly, because they understand what they are bringing. And you see, this is very instructive for us, that the present, because someone will ask again that why is it that states from the north do not particularly test the waters when it comes to getting more powers? Do they enjoy what's obtained presently? Your guess is as good as mine on that, because let's take this VAT question, for instance. You can imagine what will happen to states like Yobe, states like Borno, states like Zamfara, like Jigawa. They are almost going to be reduced to nothing. Because if you check their VAT contribution to the federation account, it's appalling, which shows that most of the states in the northern parts of the country, outside of maybe Kaduna, and a few others, they are not very productive. They're not very, very productive. So it is one of the reasons why I believe that we need to strengthen the subnational government more, which will now serve as a kind of incentive for everybody to be productive. So I'm not surprised that Lagos State, is the leading state when it comes to taking this step. But I'm quite happy that this time around it's not just Lagos. Rivers State, one of the big states in terms of revenue generation, not minding the fact that it's also an oil-producing state, are taking this initiative. We can only wait to see where this will take us.
All right, so it's Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5, a commercial break. When we come back, we'll get Toba Ifalade to the fray. But before that, you can check us out on Facebook and you can join the conversation there. Just go to Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan on Facebook. We are streaming live there. You can join the conversation. Listen live on our website as well, www.splashfm1055.com. And then you can go to the icon, listen live, and you can get all the feed that we have here. Don't go away, please.
Splash FM 105.5.
Bode, now what do you dey find for kitchen?
My dear, na spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics. Just here, drink and get relief.
Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guanfacine. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Ide kulele to drink. I dey relief now. I love comics. Now Orange Drugs Limited, they distribute comics. Products make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Ide kulele.
The big leagues are back, and DSTV DSTV is the only place you can watch it all. Enjoy live matches weekly from the best leagues in the world. We're talking the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Champions League, not to mention the return of the Europa League. That's Salah, Kane, Haaland, Bruno, Lukaku, Suarez, Messi, and CR7.
Oh my goodness!
All week, every week.
You're just lost for words!
Nothing beats the unbeatable football on DSTV.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Give malaria a double punch of artesunate and amodiaquine in a perfect combination. That Camosunator. Camosunate is anti-malaria therapy. Camosunate, and you will bounce back to life. Camosunate comes in 4 different packs for different age groups. Below 1 year. 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years, 14 and above. Camosunator, for a malaria-free family.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Zenith Pharmaceuticals Limited.
Tolú, báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Mo jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní Dambu Ìṣèkáfá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti ìtasọ́sán ìlú lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló ṣe. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti ìtasọ́sán tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Them say your ginger, now pepper them style. Show them say you sabi your legwork moves.
Beba there.
Give them as it is hot with extra spice. Oh shit!
Yes,
with the confirmed taste of bold ginger. Show them your ginger.
Bold ginger, now the confirmed soft drink. We get spicy taste that keeps you refreshed. Bold soft drink also there for orange, tropical, and bitter lemon flavor for all your jolliment. Bold ginger, show your ginger.
Someone gave me this script to read, but I'm JJ Okocha. I don't know how many words I must read in a minute. I play football, not Mr. Actor. I don't read scripts. I'm at my best when I feel this. That feeling, that's Betking. Join us at betking.com.
This is what happens when you open up a bottle of Fanta. It's bubbly excitement waiting to break free. It's living in the moment. It's not caring who's watching. It's putting your enjoyment first. It's adding color to the gray and making time to play. It's not taking life too seriously and adding a touch of crazy. Fanta is flavor. Fanta is laughter. Fanta is color. How are you going to color your day? Fanta. Color every moment.
Ẹ̀yin ará, lọ́kùnrin, lóbìnrin, àmúwá fún yín láti iléeṣẹ́ tó jẹ́ aṣáájú nínú ṣíṣe máṣíìnì alùpùpù lágbàáyé. Ẹ̀mí kò ṣeé dádúró ti Nàìjà. Hero Hunter! Máṣíìnì alùpùpù Hero Hunter 100 pẹ̀lú ìjókòó gígùn tó tún tẹ́jú, ààyè ìgbẹ́rù tó fẹ̀ àti ẹ́ńjìnì alágbára 100cc tó tún wá pẹ̀lú warranty onídìíwọ̀n olóṣù 12 Visco engine oil oní lítà 24 èyí tí yóò mú ọ tọ́jú ju $1,040 lọ. Fún ìgbà díẹ̀ ni o, fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ pè làfẹ́ 0800 800 8080. Hero Hunter, máṣíìnì alùpùpù tó lálòtọ́ tó ṣeé gbára lé.
the Redeemer Secondary School is presently conducting her entrance examinations for the current academic session into JSS and SSS classes. We deliver sound learning in a conducive environment for both day and boarding students. Our state-of-the-art library with internet learning facilities, ultra-modern sports facility, well-equipped laboratories, moderate class population, and teachers with hands-on experience provide every child an all-round education. And yes, the fees are affordable.
We are smart, intelligent, and disciplined students that make our parents proud. Don't let your child be an exemption.
The school is giving out scholarships for all children of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, full-time pastors, ministers, and national staff. Forms are available at the school premises situated at Police Post, College Crescent, Molete, Ibadan. For inquiries, please call 070-3331-0311 or 081-8004-2427. The first secondary school opened in Ibadan by the Redeemed Christian Church of God, where our children are trained in the Christian way and their future is secured.
Introducing Jumia's Naija Shopping Festival.
A shopping festival? Will I get discounts on fashion?
Who cares about fashion, Joe? Give us price slashes on game.
I beg, who game help? Give me cosmetic deals for the glow up.
No! Give me the latest smartphone, dresses, groceries, electronics. Guys, relax. From 12th July to August 29, 2021, Jumia's Naija Shopping Festival is bringing you everyday deals up to 60% off every day on all your daily essentials and much more. Download the Jumia app now and let the shopping begin.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
It's game night at the Bensons and everyone's having fun. Then, this.
Hey, son, what's the matter? You too? No way.
Don't let coughs and the common cold ruin your fun time. Tuxil range of uniquely formulated day and night syrups provides effective relief from cough and cold. Product may cause drowsiness. Tuxil, the job gets done when the cough is gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, still Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5 here in the city of Ibadan. Welcome back. We have Toba Ifalade on the line with us. Toba, good evening.
Good evening, Michael. Good evening to us.
Yeah, good evening. So let's talk very quickly. Let's talk about this issue. There's this Federal High Court judgment in Rivers State that the state government, rather than the Federal Inland Revenue, should collect value-added tax and other related taxes. What are your thoughts about this?
I think this is one of the most iconic judgments that is regarding that is the financial configuration of Nigeria that we've had in recent times. I used to know Lagos State to be the state that would have actually pursued this in the past, but it's also good to see other Nigerian states, weighing in and trying to set things right in the country. The law is actually very explicit about this. It says consumption taxes are actually state taxes. And if they are state taxes, the states have their own, tax boards or tax agencies or tax institutions. They are supposed to be the ones who, collect such taxes. I think it's a very good judgment. It came from the Federal High Court. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has said it is going to be appealing. So this is going to go to the appeal court, and I expect that eventually it is going to get to the Supreme Court. And I would be hoping that the states will come out victorious in this, because basically I think that is, if the law is very explicit, that is on a particular matter, that is the Constitution says states should collect consumption taxes, then that's what it should be.
Okay, so you are looking forward to the state becoming victorious. So can we take it for granted that you believe this is also a way of achieving restructuring or devolution of powers on all these terminologies that people are putting together?
Yeah, that's part of fiscal restructuring. People have always talked about the fact that our constitution is not that defective, that it is the implementation that is bad. And there were certain practices that were carryovers from what we had during the military era. They weren't challenged. and they became part of the culture. But when we have states, take a look at the wordings in the Constitution, the wordings of our law, and they interpret it, and they come to the conclusion that we can actually have, a different scenario or a different result if we decide to go and challenge this in court. Then I think it's a welcome development, rather than, the state wailing, crying, and talking about the fact that they wanted, a skewing of the financial stakes in Nigeria in their favor. If they can go to court and the courts are saying, yes, you actually have the right to this kind of revenue, you have the right to this source of finance, then I think it's a good one.
So let me get your views about this matter. The federal government has been in the news again. Listen to this one. The federal government's total borrowing from Central Bank of Nigeria through ways and means advances has ballooned to 15.51 trillion naira, rising by 2,286% in 6 years from data shown by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So this amount is owned by the federal government, owed to the central bank as part of the country's total public debt stock, which stood as at I think it's March, to 33.11 trillion. So essentially, this is not even added to the total public debt stock. Okay, yeah. And then you also have, on the other hand, the federal government attempting or planning to borrow over 4 trillion naira to finance deficit in the 2022 budget, added to about 5 trillion naira that is being borrowed to fund the 2021 budget. Are we on the brinks?
Yeah, we have. Because basically, if you look at what this government has been doing ever since it came to power, we went into recession, and they kept talking about the fact that they wanted to spend their way out of recession. If you want to spend your way out of recession, that means you have the money. But we didn't have the money, so this money has to be borrowed. And I think one of the instruments the government thought about is this ways and means that you've talked about, which is in layman's terms, that is the Central Bank of Nigeria prints naira, that is for the government, and gives to them. And then, they're able to spend, they're spending those monies on infrastructure, that they're trying to grow the Nigerian economy, and that we're trying to spend our way out of trouble. So that has, been the modus operandi of this government in terms of finance right from day one. Now, if this is sustainable, I don't really think so, because if you look at the inflationary trend in the country presently, it tells a story of fiscal recklessness, a story of fiscal irresponsibility. That is when you go out and you start printing money not backed by productive activity. That is, you're going to be inducing inflation. And that is what the populace are having to grapple with. You go to the market today, what you bought for 1,200, by the time you go to the market the next time, it's now 1,500 naira. It is not a rocket science. That's what is going to happen if you decide to start printing money. People have suggested that we may be headed the way of Zimbabwe or the way of Venezuela, where our currency may actually have no value at the end of the day. And with the way we are going, with the way prices keep skyrocketing, and the value of money you have in your pocket today, if you retain it in maybe a week's time, it has lost its intrinsic value. Then I think we are actually headed, along the lines of trouble if we don't find a way to rein in this ruinous way of handling the economy.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Toba. Just hold on a bit. Let me get Tunde into this conversation. According to this report by The Punch, it is said that this is a violation of Section 38 or so of the CBN Act 2007, that the bank may grant temporary advances to the federal government in respect to temporary deficiency of budget revenue, but it has to be at 85% of the previous year's actual revenue of the federal government. So you see that we are borrowing more than we are making, and particularly in this case of these ways and means advances and the technicalities around it. Nobody has been saying anything. Nobody has said anything about this matter. I think Punch just scooped it up based on the reports of the central bank and other financial institutions that are, doing analysis. Should we be concerned, Tunde?
Certainly, we should be concerned. It's quite disturbing what is happening. You alluded to the fact that our borrowing is. Our borrowing exceeds our productivity. I'm also concerned that our borrowing exceeds the population growth that we are having. So there are so many areas to look at it from. Of course, in defense of the federal government, they will tell you that, the point is not doing anything at all is not an option in the face of revenue shortfall due to the unpredictability in the price of oil, which remains the mainstay of our economy. And of course, the huge sum of money that we have to invest in dealing with the insecurity challenges that we have. What other options do we have than to borrow? But the point is, where would this lead us? If you keep borrowing and you're not making money, because the only way to make more money is to be productive. But we are not as productive as we were even some 8-10 years ago. A lot more people have lost their jobs. Our currency is less valuable now than it was some 8-10 years ago. So everything sums up to a very disturbing situation. I wish I had the answers, because even if you look at the amount of money we are committing to service our interests in terms of what our revenue to interest servicing is disturbing.
Okay, so some people in the financial sector also suggested. I remember having a conversation with someone who said, if your budget is in deficit, why don't you just shrink your budget to your revenue expectations rather than borrow money to fix the deficit? That would be a layman's perspective, really.
It's almost like somebody who said sometime that, if our budget is 10 trillion naira, how many are we? Why not just count everybody, and distribute? I mean, that's just on a lighter note. But the point is, the budget is does not translate to actual money, and even though it's not. It doesn't work that way, that you're just going to share it and let everybody, have their own share. There are certain responsibilities of government that they must do. I've talked about security. Health is very, very important as well. Resident doctors are still on strike. There are basic obligations, infrastructure, payments of salaries and other statutory spendings. We're in huge deficits, and that's why we are borrowing to finance the deficit. The solution for me, I would believe, is not to, because we actually have a very small budget. If you look at the size of Nigeria in terms of our population and our budget, I mean, to think that as a country, our budget is smaller than that of the New York Police Department, NYPD that we hear and see all the time in our movies. That our budget is actually not as big as the budget running that department. That's to tell you how far behind we are. So I don't think that the solution would be to make our budget smaller, because that simply would mean that we're not ambitious enough.
Okay.
We just want to the wisdom in saying cut your clothes according to your coats may not necessarily apply here when it comes to nation building, basically, because there are obligations of government that you must fulfill.
All right, Toba, what do you think about that? Let's take your call in this matter.
You see, we have to, sit down and start thinking about how to actually drive productivity. Because basically our major problem is productivity. You look at maybe the revenue that the federal government generates in a year, and you're talking about maybe around 3 trillion naira, between 3 trillion naira and 4 trillion naira. That's not enough to fund a 10 billion naira, a 10 trillion naira budget. So basically, what we need is to find a way to become more productive. There are alternative sources of funding for infrastructure, which our government says it is spending most of the borrowed funds on. That is, you can talk about public-private partnerships. You can talk about BOT, that is build, operate, and transfer models. But at the same time, you also have to look at how bankable these projects will be. That is, when you decide to do them. You take a look at maybe the Lagos to Ibadan railway that has just been built and how much the government said it has realized. You now ask yourself that, okay, will any private investor be willing to bring its money and commit to such a project? When are they going to get their money back if they decide to commit to that? That would also, entail the government, talking to the people that if we're going to go along the lines of, free market economies where we're going to liberalize the economy, you allow people who have funds to bring them in and execute jobs. That this freeloading system or this, socialist ideals that we are so much used to. We want cheap rail, we want cheap fuel, we want cheap transportation, we want almost everything cheap. Are we going to, give up those ideals as a people? Are we going to be okay? That is, if we have to take maybe that is a train from Ibadan to Lagos, and maybe the cost is around 15,000 or 20,000 naira, because those who have put money into such projects are going to recoup their money, and they have a time frame or a limit within which they have to recoup their money. So maybe those are some of the options that Nigeria will have to explore. But for now, that is, we are going into what I would call the debt quagmire now, because basically you get to see reports that says that we're spending close to 90% of the revenue, that small revenue that we make, we're using it to service debt. So if you're using the revenue you're getting to service debt, that means basically you almost have nothing left to execute capital projects with.
All right.
Now, how do we now bridge that particular situation?
Okay.
How do we now get money to spend on the glaring infrastructure deficit that we have? It would require genius thinking, that is strong economic engineering for us to get out of that quagmire. But I don't know whether we have, such level of thinking in this present government.
All right. Okay.
They've decided, we've been seeing moves to up taxation. You see news very recently talking about the fact that if you want to get license number plate, they have become more expensive now.
Yes.
The federal government is trying to go all out to see sources where they can actually boost their revenue profile. But I don't know how that is going to work,
all right,
judging by what we made. So we have talked about the fact that our budget is small compared to, that is, the needs on ground. Now, if we now need to go out and try to find money in the ways in which we are going to do it, will our people be patient enough to allow government to actualize it?
All right, so will they be patient enough to allow government to actualize it? That's a big question. Thank you, Toba. I'll ask you to join us again after the 6 p.m. news, because we still have some other items to discuss. The Oyo State government borrowing as well. Let's question the sustainability of it, and then the American adventure in Afghanistan. Okay, so we have commercial break. We'll ask you to join the conversation as well in a moment. Please don't go away. It's still Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5. A commercial break, and then we'll open the phone lines much later.
Splash FM 105.5.
Mom, see you
tell me after dinner time story how they used to chop life at your one bed parties. Chicken curry sauce, mama is the boss. You can never have enough of party to love. But these days, all we see is just concoction. Like we got smacked in the head and got concussion. No more daily treats, no more Sunday best. Is this what you eat? My God, why settle for less? It's night time, everybody gotta live it up. Maggie chickens in the kitchen, everybody season up. Mouth water, then lips smacking, finger licking. Didn't I tell you every meal tastes like chicken? Spice up every meal, don't let them taste the same. Cause Maggie chicken is making chicken great again. Just know one thing, just know I really, really love it. When you cook with Maggie chicken. Maggie chicken now comes in powder.
With Maggie, cook the difference.
Bode, now what do you find for kitchen?
My dear, now spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics. Just here, drink and get relief.
Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guanfacine. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Ide kulele to drink.
Are they relief now? I love comics.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited, they distribute comics. Products will make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Ide kulele.
Distribution of insecticide-treated nets are started.
The nets protect you and your family from mosquitoes that spread malaria.
Go to the distribution point written on your net card between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. from 18th August to 26th August to collect your nets.
Do not pay to collect the nets and do not sell the nets.
To prevent coronavirus infection at the distribution center, wear your face masks and maintain 2 meters distance between you and others. Avoid touching surfaces and wash your hands frequently at hand washing stations provided. When you get home, wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds.
Remember, collection will last for only 9 days.
From 18th August to 26th August. Air your net under a shade for 24 hours before you and your family start sleeping inside it. For a malaria-free Nigeria, play your part and collect your net and sleep inside it every night. This message is from the government of Oyo State and the U.S. Government President Malaria Initiative.
ṣé o mọ bó ṣe máa ń ṣe èèyàn téèyàn bá ń gba fídíò tàbí wo fídíò tó dùn ṣùgbọ́n tọkọ ẹ̀ ń kìlọ̀ fún ẹ wípé.
a tó dáhùn lápò ẹ ojú òní pẹ́ já.
kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ báyìí o tó o bá ra èyíkéyìí dátà olóṣooṣù látọwọ́ MTN tówó rẹ̀ ò gara tó sì ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé wàá jẹ àǹfààní mẹ́gábáìtì 100 àtàbọ̀ fún 100 náírà àti àfikún mẹ́gábáìtì 100 àtàbọ̀ fún YouTube lálẹ́ tàbí gígábáìtì kan fún 5 náírà àti àfikún gígábáìtì kan fún YouTube lálẹ́ látọwọ́ ẹ̀ka onídátà ayé kan ṣoṣo tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé. ṣáà tẹ *131# ránṣẹ́ láti ra èyíkéyìí dátà MTN tí ò gara jù kó o sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jẹun sókè. àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ o.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Many people just wonder how my toilet does to stay clean, how my toilet know they get germs. Number secret to my healthy family living. Power active clean soul. Clean soul toilet clean. Saturday make it just no say. Clean soul, yeah, clean soul. Use 99.9.
Prince All Toilet Cleaner. Small change, big difference for a healthy family.
Introducing Jumia's Naija Shopping Festival.
A shopping festival? Will I get discounts on fashion?
Who cares about fashion, Joe? Give us price slashes on game.
I beg, who game help? Give me cosmetic deals for the glow up.
No! Give me the latest smartphone, dresses, groceries, electronics. Guys, relax. From 12th July to August 29, 2021, Jumia's Naija Shopping Festival is bringing you everyday deals up to 60% off every day on all your daily essentials and much more. Download the Jumia app now and let the shopping begin.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Mom, why do you have so many empty Knorr packs in the kitchen?
Take the spoon you want and leave my Knorr pack unless you don't want mommy to win some goodies.
Win big in the Knorr Unwrap and Win promo. All you need to do is just turn in 2 or more empty packs of Knorr to stand a chance to be among 24 lucky winners of 500,000 naira each, with 2 winners announced weekly. You could also win other amazing gifts like Showmax mobile subscriptions for a month, or Rival AirPods, microwaves, and much more. Promo runs from the 29th of July to the 17th of October. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion has been approved by the FCCPC.
Here, Papa Obi. Now what in they shake you again like leaf? Chai! Sweater and handkerchief never come off from your hands since I married you.
Na cold and kata again, oh.
I don't tell you, say make you take Procode, but in the form of big man.
Why Procode, my dear?
Make you know what comes through, though. Procode get paracetamol and phenylephrine for effective relief from cold and catarrh within 20 minutes.
Mama Obi, I can't pay now.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited distributor. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Procode, now better medicine.
Take Procode, take Procode, Procode, take Procode.
Yay! My prepaid meter has entered red. My money has finished.
Babe, calm down now. Why are you switching off everything now?
With the rising cost of food and every other thing, it is only wise to manage my electricity consumption. And you know what freezers consume.
You better switch to the smart way with higher thermocool inverter freezers. The 50% electricity saver.
Really? 50%?
Yes, so 50%. So you don't have to switch off your appliances, especially your freezer.
Switch off from a life of stress. Switch to higher thermocool inverter freezer and enjoy 50% electricity saving. That means low electricity bills. Thermocool, always there for you.
On a cool day, what do you want to do?
Make you spice up your life.
Asking. Collect tea as it hot. And chilled Sprite to the cool body.
Give your favorite pepper meal that extra vibe with a chilled bottle of Sprite, now in a new bottle. Enjoy the refreshing lemon lime taste of Sprite no matter the heat.
Max, my customer. I would like to buy that AC over there. Yeah, in this store. But it's right there. That's what I'm pointing to right now.
But you are pointing at Premier Cool Soap.
Yes, so there's a Premier Cool promo going right now. These 3 bars of Premier Cool Soap on your shelf could be PS5, laptop, mobile phone. Max, just give me the 3 bars of Premier Cool Soap. Join the cool side and win amazing prizes like PS5, mobile phones, laptops, and a host of others, including a paid trip for 2 to Dubai in the Premier Cool Chill and Win promo. Terms and conditions apply.
When you haven't used your SIM for quite a while, you start to worry. You start to calculate the last time you recharged, or the last time you got a call on that line, or a credit alert, or even just a flash. But thanks to Glow Always On, you can rest easy and never worry about any of that. Because with just 500 Naira, you stay connected to the Glow network even if your SIM is inactive. Just dial *777# and select Always On to subscribe.
Glow Unlimited.
Bode, now what do you dey find for kitchen?
My dear, na spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics. Just here, drink and get relief. Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guaifenesin. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Ide kulele to drink.
I dey relief now. I love comics.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited, they distribute comics. Products will make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Ide kulele.
Splash FM 105.5.
Okay, still Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5 here in the city of Ibadan. You'd like to intervene in the conversations we've been having today. The Federal High Court's judgment in Rivers State that the state, rather than the Federal Inland Revenue Service, should collect the value-added tax and other related levies. And then the federal government's borrowing plans for over 4 trillion to finance the deficit in the 2022 budget, about 5 trillion naira being borrowed to fund the deficit in the 2021 budget, and also about 15 trillion naira borrowed already outside of the public debt stock that's the regular. What are your thoughts? 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. On Facebook, you can join us, okay? You can watch us live as we're streaming live now. Facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. And you'll find us there. On our website, you can also listen. I'm talking about splashfm1055.com. Okay, so you have all these platforms: 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 49 3000. So after the 6 p.m. news highlights, we'll come back to the other matters we have lined up already. Toba Ifalade is still standing by in Iloni, and Tunde Olawuwo is with me in the studio here. Okay, so just to prep you on this matter, the Oyo State House of Assembly this week gave the governor the approval to borrow 6 billion naira to fund existing projects, infrastructural projects in the state. The House of Assembly also approved the supplementary budget of 50 billion naira. So this is also tied to some, projects that are continuous in the state, and also new ones. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Okay. So, hello. Good evening. Hello, good evening. All right, so when you're ready, you can call us, please. All right, so 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 949 3000. Our caller is here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you're welcome to Splash Rendezvous. What's the name?
Oluwasami from Ife.
Mr. Oluwasami from Ife. Let's talk very quickly, sir.
I want to talk on the borrowing, either state government or federal government. I think when we borrow, I will spend it on social infrastructure or energy. The government should just check carefully on the issue of borrowing. For example, now if you borrow to do some projects, not like no projects, if there is a kind of old system, just recover such money. Man in the economy. So if we borrow and there is a way to recover this money, maybe like the social bank, or we borrow to put something like, if we want to refurb our economy like energy, industry sector, we borrow to reduce our refinery. In a good time, we will recover such money. But the money we are borrowing on social infrastructure, the government takes.
All right, Mr. Oluwasami, thank you very much for your contribution on the program this evening. We'll take a break on Splash Rendezvous, and then we have the 6 p.m. news highlights for today. And after that, we'll come to the other matters on the table. Please don't go away.
Spread your wings on Splash 105.5 FM.
I used to have 2 vices, smoking. These days I just lose the count. The universe is generous, the highest glory are all. I know the rules easy, and how I break 'em as I choose, taking her love and keeping her confused. Ozymandias, Ozymandias, history forgets all. Ozymandias, 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 Hubris destroys all. Ozymandias, and the people shall no longer settle for mediocre systems and history.
Splash FM 105.5.
Mummies and daddies, good evening, no. Don't forget to buy your pikin's favorite toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on News Highlight at 6 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM. Senator Godswill Akpabio says oil firms operating in the Niger Delta have defaulted in their statutory remittances to the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, to the tune of $4 billion. Akpabio, who is a minister of Niger Delta Affairs, made the claim today at the weekly ministerial briefing held at the State House in Abuja. He noted that oil firms operating in the area are expected to provide 3% of their annual budgets to the Commission, but none has complied with this. Akpabio stressed that the Ministry of Niger Delta would take a keen interest in the implementation of the 3% Petroleum Industry Act PIA compensation to host communities. The former Akwa Ibom governor also stated that the NDDC owes contractors 3 trillion naira. Son of a former National Secretary of the Nigeria Medical Association, Dr. Adewumi Alayaki, has been abducted by suspected gunmen in Ogun State. Adedamola Alayaki was abducted by some unknown gunmen who later demanded a 20 million naira ransom to free the victim. It was gathered that the son was kidnapped on his father's farm at the Shagaorile community, Abeokuta North local government area of Ogun State. When contacted, the State Police Public Relations Officer, Abimbola Oyeyemi, confirmed the incident to newsmen today in Abeokuta. According to him, Adedamola is a manager in one of his father's farms. The BPRO said that the police were on the trail of the abductors. The Nigeria Union of Teachers said its members will not sit for the competency test scheduled for public primary school teachers in Kaduna State later in the year. The union says such assessments should be carried out by bodies such as the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria and not a state government. The umbrella body for teachers noted that such tests should improve the quality of teaching and learning and not disengage teachers, which is common practice with the Kaduna State government. The position of the NUT was made known in a communique after an emergency meeting by the members of its EXCO in Kaduna State. And quickly to the foreign scene, Cote d'Ivoire's President Alassane Ouattara tested positive for the coronavirus COVID-19 after being exposed to the coronavirus, but has now recovered. The presidency statement said Ouattara tested negative on Wednesday and he has returned to his usual activities. Ouattara's office announced on August the 3rd that he was self-isolating, but did not previously announce that he tested positive. He decided to self-isolate after coming into contact with someone who later tested positive for the virus, according to his office. Cote d'Ivoire currently has more than 50,499 COVID-19 cases, with more than 49,553 recoveries and nearly 350 deaths. A United Nations document says the Taliban is intensifying its hunt for for all people who worked and collaborated with NATO and U.S. forces. The confidential paper was produced by the Norwegian Center for Global Analysis, could provide the UN with intelligence information. The document said that the Taliban are arresting or threatening to kill or arrest family members of target individuals unless they surrender themselves to the Taliban. It said that those at particular risk were people with positions in the military, police, and investigative units. It added that the militants were screening for individuals while permitting some evacuation of foreign personnel from Kabul airport, but the situation there remained chaotic. According to the report, the Taliban are recruiting more informal networks to collaborate with the new regime. And finally, sports news. Bayern Munich's goalkeeper and captain, Manuel Neuer, did not train on Thursday due to a capsule injury in his right ankle, the Bundesliga champions reported. The 35-year-old Neuer picked up the injury in Tuesday's Super Cup victory away to Borussia Dortmund. The club did not say whether he was doubtful for Sunday's Bundesliga match with Cologne. Bayern were held 1-1 by Borussia in last week's season opener before claiming a first win under new coach Julian Nagelsmann in midweek. And that ends the 6 p.m. news highlight for today. Abuluwasheun Akinola.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Here is
105.5.
Accessing the
105.5.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
One passenger, big auntie. Come and enter my bus now.
Hey, conductor, this cough is serious. I beg, you need to go to the hospital.
Hospital? Auntie, if I go hospital now with this cough, those people will just say I have COVID-19.
No, they won't. Doctors say cough symptoms are different in every condition. Some are dry, others are wet, like your own.
God bless you, auntie. I have told this my conductor. The cough has refused to go, and it could be tuberculosis.
Conductor, check am o. Make you dey sure, because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB tests and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 for information on where to get the tests. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Summertime is here, and guess what? The Techno Summer Sales is on, and everyone's a winner. Simply buy any Techno Pop Series or Spark 7, which comes with all the Google apps you love, and get scratch cards to win cash discounts of up to 10,000 Naira and lots of free gifts. Promo runs till 10 September 2021 in selected Techno stores. Visit and follow at Techno Mobile NG on Instagram and Facebook for more information. Offer valid while stocks last. Techno Summer Sales, a summer to remember.
Tolú, báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Mo jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dábò ìṣèkápá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti ìtasọ́sán ìlú lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló ṣe. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fún adùn àti ìtasọ́sán tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No, dear. Na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Thief! Stop am!
What them do?
Dem dey forget, but that get strong well, so dem no fit enter. Oga Rufus, wetin happen now? I said dem no fit enter, why you come dey cry?
I leave the key for gate.
country people. Now so it be when you carry your personal banking information like your PIN, password or even OTP self give another person. You don't leave your key for gate be that o. No mind anybody will call you pretend say them they follow Access Bank work or text you say make you give them your ATM card number, PIN, BVN, password or one-time password OTP. Access Bank no go ever talk say make you tell anybody your PIN, card number or authentication code for mobile banking app. If anybody send you email, call or send text message wey you notice say e dey somehow, report am to us sharp sharp. And if them thief your phone or you lose am, dial *901 *911 hash sharp sharp on top any phone to block your USSD profile. Make them no come empty your account o. Stay safe, shine your eye. Access more than banking.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, this is second half of Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5. Welcome back. Okay, so after the news there, during the news, you heard the voice of Oluwaseun Akinola is back. So I told you that he went to, how do I say it now? So I would have said that I sent him. He went to the Federal Capital.
The real Federal Capital Territory. Which one is not a real Federal Capital Territory?
So, welcome.
Thank you. It was a good time being the FCT.
You flew from airport in Ibadan here, right? To Abuja. Let's
I think we have the government to thank for that. You can now fly from Ibadan to Abuja back to Ibadan, right?
I don't know, that's not what they're saying. Because I've been flying from that airport even before this administration, so I don't know what.
So you didn't feel any difference?
No, I didn't. I was saying it off microphone. The only thing I saw on Tuesday was there is a rehabilitation of the VIP lounge.
Okay.
So all of that was about the lounge.
It was just the VIP lounge. That's what I saw.
What you saw.
Yes, and so when I was in Abuja, I was watching the news, listening to news here, and I saw a fanfare and the governor with.
So after you left to travel, anything can happen.
And then when I came back this evening, I just saw I met the airport the way I left it. I guess because the airpiece came into town, they want to start flying from Ibadan to Abuja. But beyond that, I wonder why that fanfare.
You didn't see the VIP lounge, right?
I saw it. It was just,
you are not allowed to enter, right?
I saw it. I mean, you could see it.
Tunde, maybe we should question his VIP ship. Maybe that's why he didn't see it.
Of course.
I'm not a VIP. I'm a journalist.
The thing is this. I mean, as commendable as it is that you have the presence of airpiece, now to fly daily, from Ibadan to Abuja and maybe even other destinations, hopefully at some point.
Yeah, I also heard that Enugu will be added to the profile.
That would be good.
The very idea that for every single thing we throw a party, I think is childish, to say the least. Really, I mean, these are fundamental responsibilities of government to come up with ideas. Support private sector initiative. For every little thing, we throw a party, you put ribbon, you get all your cabinet members. I think we should go beyond that. It's tokenistic because it makes you clap for every normal thing.
I mean, it makes you clap for mediocrity, as it were. That's the truth.
Okay, so let's just go to, since we are talking about the airport and infrastructure. Let's talk about the Oyo State financial situation. A story, came up a few days ago. It says the Makinde seeks a 50 billion naira supplementary budget for Ibadan Circular Road, Iseyin Ogbomoso Road, and airport improvement. So talking about that airport. And so we have the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has sought the consideration and approval of the State House of Assembly, of which he did get for 50 billion naira supplementary budget, effectively shoring up the the budget for 2021 to over 300 billion. As you had 268 billion or so for the approved budget. So, one of those things that you have here, you have 3 projects tied to the supplementary budget. 25 billion naira goes to Ishenyu. The Ibadan Circular Road takes 25 billion naira. Ishenyu Ogbomoso Road takes 15 billion naira, and the Ibadan Airport Improvement takes 10 billion naira. And then so eventually that was the proposal that the governor sent to the House. Also speaks to this other one. Another 6 billion naira approved for the governor. So you have a 6 billion naira credit facility approved by the Oyo State House of Assembly. So let me start with Tunde. Debate here and there about the borrowings of this government in 2 years. Analysts say that this government has got about 156 billion credit facility. Don't forget the 100 billion bond, which the government has still been saying we have not got it and all that. You have even before the administration started, of course, the process that was started by the previous administration, I think, was 7.6 billion naira or so. This government got it, and then 2.5 billion, and then on and on and on. You begin to ask questions about the sustainability of the facilities that the government is getting. But before we go to sustainability, can you just clear the table for us? Why do we need to go that whole hog of just credit facility and credit facility?
Well, I suppose my quick answer to that would be that the state is ambitious. The richest state in Nigeria is also the most indebted state. That's Lagos State. So I, for one, I think it's quite commendable that we know what they're borrowing for, which is that they're not borrowing to pay salaries, at least for this one. It's tied towards some major infrastructural projects. However, what I would question is the quantum of what is being borrowed, because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to say you're committing 25 billion of this. That's half of this to the Ibadan Circular Road. Then also the Ishenyu Ogbomoso Road. Remember that this Ishenyu Ogbomoso Road is important in so many ways. One is that Ishenyu is in Okeogun, which is supposed to be the food basket of Oyo State. So, a good access road linking that place. Don't forget the Monia Ishenyu Road is a link between Okeogun and Ibadan. So, if another one links Oyo, Okeogun to Ogbomoso down to Oyo here, it's quite commendable. Whether it's going to be sustainable is left to be seen. I think the fact that our allocation, I meant to say our IGR, our internally generated revenue, is marginally improving, is a testament to the fact that maybe at some point we will be able. So it's like Oyo State, like Nigeria. We are going through serious shortfall in terms of revenue. I don't think there is a better way to say it. And as much as one can argue that there are other low-hanging fruits through which states can generate revenue, or at least finance some of their budgetary plans. The truth is, some of those things may not come in readily as handy as they should. So there is hardly anyone that will not go the way of borrowing at this point in time. Whether we'll be able to sustain it in terms of servicing this, well, I don't know. I think only time will tell. But for me, it's laudable that we're borrowing to finance infrastructure. and not for some other things.
Talking about infrastructure, let me come to Shion because he actually just came from Abuja through our Ibadan airport. Before I let you talk, I must say that I have been, I've been wishing that we, have a lot of traffic, in this Ibadan airport.
Okay.
I've been wondering why people need to go to Lagos to travel to Abuja by air. I've always been saying it. So for me, it's good that we're opening up the airport. But you see, the airport is still federal government's property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
when a state government is borrowing money to improve the airport, open up the airport and the rest of it, what does it really transmit to you?
It depends on the model. I mean, if it were to be a kind of public-private partnership wherein it's business focused and there is going to be a return to the state from it, I'll say that it's laudable, like Tunde talked about, being ambitious. So you put the plan on the table. What will the state get from this venture?
Mhm.
Because it should be a venture.
Yeah.
If you talk about the airport, it should be an economic hub. So, have we talked about the things that would generate income within and around the airport? What are the structures that should be put in place that will bring in money for government at the airport? The airport shouldn't be, a place, a Father Christmas that just gives for everyone, and then it doesn't bring in things into the government coffer. If government is just simply thinking of being exotic and say we just want to have an airport, we just want to fly from Ibadan to Abuja, we just want to move from here to there, it is not going to do us any good. Now, Tunde was talking about being ambitious. It's good to be ambitious. It's great to also think beyond the limit that you have. But the truth is borrowing. The question is borrowing the only way for us to finance our activities, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's development, however you look at it. So borrowing is one, but there are other ways. There are other ways and means by which we can generate income. Has government looked deeply into its IGR generation and see where there are loopholes? Have we expanded our tax net rather than just being focusing on one point or just set of people? So my submission is this: the airport, being the federal government property, we should develop that place to make it generate more money. Today, you still see people cannot find taxis there easily. There are no transportation network that can easily link you to the airport, freely, and then you are able to make some money from there. And there are other hubs that you generate that should come out from that airport. They're not coming out. If they're not coming out, it will be a wasted effort eventually. Since 2013, I know that Overland had been running in that airport. I'm very sure I've taken Overland there quite a lot of time. And so Airpeace is just joining. So I don't see anything spectacular about it. But there should be an improvement in that.
Okay. This question, I want to bring it to Tunde. When the governor presented the 2021 budget at the House of Assembly in Oyo State here, there's one particle that I was so much interested in, which has to do with the IGR. There's this projection of about 108 billion or so to help finance the budget. That should be about, at that time, that would be about 70% of the budget, really. But if you prorate 108 billion plus to 12 months, that gives you around 8 billion naira. Every month. We've not been able to clock 3 billion, have we?
It's another 2 billion plus.
It's from their last updates. It's varies. I think from between 2.8 and 3 billion every month. You see, Sean mentioned something, and it struck me that in all of this, there's politics. Okay, government knows, the areas where they need to focus on if they want to aggressively increase their revenue generation internally. But some of those areas may not be consistent with their populistic stance. like somebody said, the only way not to step on toes is to stand still. If indeed you don't want to step on toes, you probably just, because sometimes if you go backward, you will still be stepping on some toes. So, in expanding the tax net is one important area. Is the government ready? In the informal sector, for instance, if you check, in our markets, our popular market, there are so many people who have stores who I am sure are not, paying. Some are tenants at will. They just set up a place there. In other climes, no matter where you are, as long as you're doing business there, you will pay. You will pay.
So you're talking about expanding and being deliberate about it.
Yes. Also, there is the question of the land use charges. I mean, in the last 1 year, we've all in our various houses and business centers, gotten correspondence from government. I am not sure the level of compliance, so far in terms of payment. Why? Because there has been no enforcement. And I'm not sure that now that we are getting closer to another election is when the government will be ready to enforce. So these are some of the areas. I believe that Oyo State comfortably should be doing between 6 and 8 billion every month.
Exactly.
If we are very sincere and serious about IGR. But are we ready?
Toba Ifalade is here. Toba, let's quickly talk about the debt profile of Oyo State, particularly in the last 2 years. What would be your take about the borrowings and essentially what questions should Nigerians or people in Oyo State be asking?
I think maybe because the deed has been done now, so we should be asking the right questions. One is that what do you intend to do with the money? Two, that is what is the plan for paying those monies? Then three, that is how do you intend to insulate the state from shocks? Because basically we have the example of Osun State to look at when Governor Aregbesola was in charge in Osun State, and loans were coming in from left, right, center. We want to build Osun. We want to make the capital look like a proper capital, and they took those loans. And then at the end of the day, we have that revenue shortfall that came with the drop in crude oil prices in the international oil market, and Osun ran into trouble that they couldn't pay salaries and when due. They had to be paying percentages. They're still owing, workers from that era. So Oyo State, citizens should also be directing that question at their governor. That are we not headed in the same direction also? Do we have a plan to pay? Do we have, this payment plan that is going to keep us insulated, whatever, the vagaries of oil in the international market might be? And then are people not going to suffer from, the payment plan in the future? I think those are some of the very important questions that Oyo State indigents or Oyo State.
Okay, are you still there? All right. So Toba. Okay. So hello, Toba.
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. I just thought we should wrap up the conversation here. So what exactly would you suggest, for instance, that the government should do in the light of taxes and all that, internally generated revenue, for instance?
Yeah, to a good extent, Oyo State has made, they've made massive strides, that is in terms of increasing internally generated revenue. We saw, the government come out to tell us about how they've moved it from what it was in 2019, and we saw what it was in 2020. But my opinion is still that, more can be done, because basically you're talking about Nigeria with a huge $500 billion economy. And then you look at the tax that is generated from that kind of economy. And people keep telling us that our tax to GDP ratio is still very low. So I do think there is a whole lot that can be done to actually improve that is, revenue generation from the economy that we have. Now, how do we do that? Why do we have that disparity between the sizes of our economy and the revenue it generates from government? The key reason is that most of that economy is in the informal sector. That means we have to find a way of formalizing the productive activities taking place in our economy. How do you do that? It is by giving incentives to people for them to come out there and register their businesses as proper businesses. When you have registered businesses, that is, you're able to take into account what is their turnover. How do I plug myself into this and take revenue from it and then run the state with it? But you're also not going to do that if the only thing you do from people is take from them and you're not giving anything back in return. So for us to actually formalize our economy at this point in time, the government has to come out with serious incentives to get our people to actually come out and feel that, yes, I need to get this business registered, because if I do, these are the things I could get from the government in return. Then the government can also say, okay, yes, if we have been able to capture so many people in the tax bracket now, we can actually go in their tax and get more revenue to run the state.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Toba Ifalade, joining us on the phone there. We've really, got, bits and pieces of suggestions for the government. Let's hope that the government is listening. Anyway, all right, it's still Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5 here in the city of Ibadan. A commercial break. When we come back, we'll listen to you. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000.
Splash FM 105.5.
Bode, now what do you find for kitchen?
My dear, na spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics. Just here, drink and get relief.
Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guaifenesin. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Ide kulele to drink.
I dey relief now. I love comics.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited, they distribute comics. Products will make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Ide kulele.
lásìkò yìí nǹkan kékeré wàá ti máa gbọ́ bàbá àlàyé ẹ̀yàn fún wa ọ̀gá ẹ fún wa àmọ́ nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé kí ni yóò lè kárí àti pé èèyàn mélòó ni bàbá àlàyé máa yanran fún gan-an kò ṣáà lè wá kó wa lọ wá para ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tó o bá ń wá ìfàjẹ̀ǹjẹ̀ tán tó rinlẹ̀ nígboro darapọ̀ mọ́ yellow awoof giveaway tó lékè nǹka tó bá jẹ́ oníbàárà MTN tàtẹ̀yìnwá wàá máa ṣe falala pẹ̀lú àfikún lórí àfikún ìdá 5% nígbàkúùgbà tó o bá ra ìpè 100 kan tàbí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lórí MTN bẹ́tà tọ̀ tó o bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ oníbàárà tó fẹ́ràn ìfà olójoojúmọ́ *888* ló máa lò láti lè jẹ àǹfààní ìfàlọ́nà mẹ́fà tó o bá ra oníyekíye lórí MTN awoof for you tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé oníbàárà tuntun nìyẹn wàá máa jẹ àfikún ìfà tí ìdálọ́nà 7% ní gbogbo ìgbà tó o bá ra 100 kan àbí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lórí MTN yànfùyànfùn torí náà má nà gẹ̀rẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ ìfà tó múrí wú ní gbogbo ibi tó o bá lọ pẹ̀lú MTN.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Many people just wonder how my toilet does to stay clean, how my toilet know they get germs number. Secret to my healthy family living. Power active clean toilet clean. Saturday make it just no say clean kills 99.9%.
Prince All Toilet Cleaners. Small change, big difference for a healthy family.
The big leagues are back, and DSTV is the only place you can watch it all. Enjoy live matches weekly from the best leagues in the world. We're talking the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Champions League, not to mention the return of the Europa League. That's Salah, Kane, Haaland, Bruno, Lukaku, Suarez, Messi, and CR7.
Oh my goodness!
All week, every week.
You're just lost for words!
Nothing beats the unbeatable football on DSTV.
Becky, come and have your cereal.
Mommy, can have my cereal with Moro Glucose D, please?
Can I also have my tea, please?
Of course, darling. As a mother, I choose Monroe Glucose D as the sweetener for all my family's cereal and beverages because it not only gives my family instant energy, Monroe Glucose D is enriched with calcium and vitamin D. When you're buying, look out for the Monroe Glucose D logo on the pack to ensure that you're getting premium quality. Monroe Glucose D is manufactured by Brand Monroe Limited.
When people complain about prices these days, I just smile. But you know what? I am able to smile because I have a trick up my sleeve. Ever since I heard about RX Go, I've been buying groceries at wholesale prices. Awesome, right? RX Go gives you access to a wide range of groceries at amazing prices. Shopping with RX Go is so convenient as you can order online or via WhatsApp and your order will be delivered to you within 30 minutes. RX Go is located in strategic locations in Ibadan. To ensure quick access to your grocery needs, you can call or message us via WhatsApp on 090-105-15756, 090-105-15756, or send us a message via info@rxall.net. Our website is www.rxalldelivered.com. Use the coupon code RXGIVE to enjoy the wholesale price. RX Go. Shop with convenience.
On a cool day, what do you want to do?
Make you spice up your life.
As in, collect as it hot. And chilled Sprite to the cool body.
Give your favorite pepper meal that extra vibe with a chilled bottle of Sprite, now in a new bottle. Enjoy the refreshing lemon lime taste of Sprite no matter the heat.
Ẹ̀yin ará, lọ́kùnrin, lóbìnrin, àmúwá fún yín láti iléeṣẹ́ tó jẹ́ aṣáájú nínú ṣíṣe máṣíìnì alùpùpù lágbàáyé. Ẹ̀mí kò ṣeé dádúró ti Nàìjà. Hero Hunter! Máṣíìnì alùpùpù Hero Hunter 100 pẹ̀lú ìjókòó gígùn tó tún tẹ́jú, ààyè ìgbẹ́rù tó fẹ̀ àti ẹ́ńjìnì alágbára 100cc tó tún wá pẹ̀lú warranty onídìíwọ̀n olóṣù 12 Visco engine oil oní lítà 24 èyí tí yóò mú ọ tọ́jú ju $1,040 lọ. Fún ìgbà díẹ̀ ni o, fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ pè làfẹ́ 0800 800 8080. Hero Hunter, máṣíìnì alùpùpù tó lálòtọ́ tó ṣeé gbára lé.
Bode, now what do you dey find for kitchen?
My dear, na spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics, just here, drink and get relief.
Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guiafenesin. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Idekulele to drink.
I dey relieved now. I love comics.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited they distribute comics. Products will make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Idekulele.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, it's still Splash Rendezvous on Splash FM 105.5, 0809-155-1055, 0805-699-8678, and 07069493000. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Name, please.
Shola from the road.
Shola?
Yes.
Let's talk, please.
Excuse me. Do you want this governor to begin tax everybody again? When the federal government has been every pocket, you can't pass it on. Thank you.
Okay, is that your question? Shola is left. Okay, thank you very much. You will get answers soon to your query. Okay, so 0809-155-1055, 0805-699-8678, and 07069493000.
Shola is saying that, do we want the governor to tax everybody? Look, if this government is running our nation with the taxpayers' money. We will not keep quiet and fold our arms and watch when things deteriorate. If you pay tax and you don't get water, you don't get power, you don't see good roads, will you keep quiet?
I see, when we talk about widening the tax net,
it's not increasing it.
We're not saying impose further taxes on those who are already paying. We're saying a lot of people
are not paying,
are not captured, they're not paying. That's what it means.
Well, all right, let's see if we could admit 2 more calls before we go today. On Facebook, okay, so we have a caller here. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Femi Ojo is my name. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Femi Ojo, welcome.
Thank you. Well, my submission is that I feel the federal government should desist already from taking the value-added tax from states. I feel it is very tough on the states in the sense that, take for instance, a state government award contracts to contractors that are residents within the states to the tune of 50 billion naira. These states will actually pay that tax on that sum to the FRS, which actually goes to the purse of the federal government. But in terms of FAC, when FAC will actually be sharing money, this money does not come back to the state in entirety. So for me, my take is that yes, the federal government is reaping the states, and at the end of the day, this state will still have to go back to the federal government and beg for money at the end of the month in the form of FAC. That's my submission.
All right, thank you very much. The states do not beg for the money. It is an arrangement to sanitize the collection process for them and also share for them equitably. So it's not about begging. It's about, okay, the federal government is helping them to aggregate and then to share. Okay, so that nobody will have any excuse of not collecting the taxes. That's the whole essence of it. Tunde?
Well, it's a slippery slope, but I think we cannot run away from it. That's it's common sense. It's common sense if you have 36 states and the FCT, and then one state is responsible for 70%, 70% of the VAT accruable. What does that say? Add Rivers, add Ogun, add Kano. That takes you to about 85%. What are the other states doing? Are they sleeping? I think that I support this idea too, that for others to be productive. You see, there's this saying on the street that all man for himself. Maybe not entirely, but all man should at least be 30 to 40% for him or herself.
All right.
That way, you have the incentive to work. Okay, you have the governor of Yobe, May Melabuni, who is also the APC caretaker chairman.
How does he even have time to do that?
He has basically abandoned the business of governance in the states if he was doing it at all. Simply because there's a feeding bottle arrangement that ensures that something gets to Yobe State every month, whether they are productive or not.
How do you run a state without being productive? How do you run a federation without being productive? You're a father and you're not making money. You're collecting from your own father to feed your children.
Okay, so we'll expand this conversation pretty soon. Shinwakiola, your 30 seconds. Your final take on this matter.
I look forward to a productive state rather than the one that is dependent on fair allocation.
Tunde.
Well, former governor of Abia State, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, was today arrested, at the airport, and of course his son has also, by the EFCC, his son has also turned himself in, who is presently the Speaker of Abia State House of Assembly. It starts all over again.
All over again.
They can't run, they can only hide.
All right, so Tunde, thank you for coming again today.
My pleasure.
Shinwakiola.
With appreciation to you.
All right, my name is Michael Olatunbosun. I'd like to urge you to enjoy the rest of the day.
We're not going to cuss at you. We're not going to yell at you.
We're just going to give you the best of information and entertainment that everyone can agree on.
105.5, the
Splash.
Hi guys, hope you are doing great wherever